Ku kasatu oyingira mu kifute gikyamu.
Abubi. Kabu. Bro.
Your Excellency the President of the Republic of Uganda, Commander-in-Chief, Vice President, Right Honorable Speaker, Cabinet Ministers, members.
We will dearly miss her. I say for all this, for God and my country. I now want to take the singular honor to invite Your Excellency, the President of the Republic of Uganda, to speak to the members of Parliament who are here, the families, Honorable Mateke, and the country by extension. You're most welcome.
Came to show solidarity with the family of Dr. Mateke and with the other Ugandans, but also to bear witness to the good work this young cadre was beginning to do. I have not interacted very much with her, but the few times I meet her, she was very calm and didn't appear to be the one who is sensitive and aggressive and touchy, which is the problem of some of the other people. Should be calm, say a few words. I formed the Munity Committee to study the issue of Congo under General Tabana Amin. The people come from the tribes who are near the border of the Congo. So you had Tabana Amin there, people like Museveni. Those you know, all those you don't know where they are Congolese or Ugandans. Is Museveni here? Where is she? She's there. She's a member of that committee. And then all these other people, the people of Kabyanga, and all those Bakonjo. So she was there representing Chisoro. And they were supposed to brief me to report back. But you could see in those discussions, that's when I interacted with her closely. You could see that she was very careful with her words. Doesn't just talk like that. So it's a big loss. But the few years she has been here, I'm sure she has become like some example to those who know her well in the Kisoro area, who may know her better. Because you know how quarrelsome those who are familiar can be. So when you hear people giving testimony to somebody say, oh, he's good, she's good, she's good, you know that she was really good. Now the only issue I would want to, we are coming from remembering General Ronda at Munyonyo, who apparently, you remember Ronda died on the plane when he was coming from South Korea for a conference of security. Now, this Sarah apparently was supposed to travel to South Korea on the same conference, from which Rwanda died when he was coming back. And she was supposed to travel that night, that's what I was told. But when I was speaking, that one told me. Now, it was fortunate that she didn't go on the plane. So therefore, because you see, we are fighters. We lose people always when we are fighting, our people die, we kill the enemy also kills us. But we move on. But we try to avoid unnecessary losses, because anybody who dies creates a gap on our side. Runyanguli will say, na tuwake mkono. The one who dies, death takes away strength from us. And that's why, therefore, the fighters should also look at their life, not as just theirs. It is also ours, all of us. Because when you go, but you leave us in a problem. How shall we fill your gap? What shall we do? check your life. Like in this case, it was good that she went to check, but it was a bit late. But she was going to travel on such a long distance when she had a medical condition which was quite sensitive. So therefore, really my appeal to the cadres is that please remember that you are a soldier. So not only your family who will miss, like for instance, her son, I saw her there, the boy. The boy stand up and they see you. There she is, there he is, the boy. Then we, the NRM, then Soro. So please take care of, for instance, Aronda, when he died on the plane. Me, I didn't know that he had a medical condition that was a problem. I didn't know. If I had known, I would have stopped him from traveling those long distances. So this is the only side that I would want to advise our cadres, Ugandans, to be careful with health. Make sure you check properly, and if it is need for rest, you rest. You don't have to strain yourself. This is the only thing I would say. But otherwise, she has left. I think she has left because I hear in Ikisoro, to hear so many people saying that she was good. She was good. I have not heard anybody saying that she was cantankerous or quarrelsome, or because you know how the Ikisoro politics is. It is very, very. You must have a thick skin. But for her, she was very, very, very calm. I don't have much to say. I don't have to continue just talking because I want to talk, because there's nothing I'm adding. I just came to show solidarity, that's all. May her soul rest in eternal peace. Thank you.
Your Excellency, before we go to the national anthems,
President. The right the East African Legislative Assembly, the Parliamentary Anglican Chaplaincy,
with the 5 million shillings given to the family. Thank you so much. We have a condolence message from Minister of Defense and Veteran Affairs to the family. Led by the Leader of Opposition on this side, Shadow Justice, Shadow Attorney General, by the Vice President, Prime Minister, Minister of Defense, and all the Kigezi members of Parliament. I can see Bahati, Henry, Namara, Catherine, Kwizera, Tamara, everybody. Thank you so much. Would you love to speak to your motion?
Her academic achievements and enrolled for a master's degree at Mugema University and graduated with a master's in public health in the year 2017. That Honorable Speaker and honorable members, Sarah was a bright and focused student who struggled to attain high goals. Her acumen for achievement has inspired many girls and youth today to further their education, to join politics, business, and other gainful employment to cause developmental change for this country. That Honorable Speaker and honorable members, Nyiravasisi Sarah Mateke has been a dedicated patriot in serving her country and the people of Kisoro, in particular, after living as a role model from her youthful days. She ran a family business dealing in timber production and transportation. She served in various capacities in the political, corporate, and public service arenas during her tour of service and life, which include the following. That Honorable Speaker, allow me at this point to thank His Excellency the President for giving the Right Honorable Sarah Mateke an opportunity to serve in the capacity of Minister. His Excellency the President appointed Sarah Mateke as a Minister of State for Defense and Veteran Affairs in charge of defense from March 2024, and has been involved in the formulation of better policies in the sector before her demise. Honorable members, as a member of the 11th Parliament, His Excellency the President appointed Sarah as State Minister of Gender, Labour and Social Development in charge of Youth and Children Affairs, with her experience of championing the interests of the girl and boy children to accessing formal education in boarding schools through her Universities Foundation, organized and empowering women into development programs. That Honorable Speaker, Sarah Mateke Nyirabashisi has been the district woman representative for Kisoro district in the 11th Parliament of Uganda from the year 2021 till her demise. She was a member of the 9th Parliament and served diligently on various committees of Parliament between the year 2011 to 2016. Sarah served as a chairperson, Board of Trustees, Makerere Metropolitan International University from 2014 till her last breath. Right Honorable Speaker, she has been serving as a chairperson, Board of Directors, Makerere Metropolitan Management Institute from 2014 to her time of death. She has been a hard-working and committed civil servant. When she was serving in the Kisoro District Local Government, one as a senior assistant clerk in the services, assistant town clerk in the services of Kisoro Town Council between the year 2005 to 2011. She was a personnel officer in the services of Kisoro Town Council between the year 2001 to 2005. Right Honorable Speaker and honorable members, as we pay tribute to our fallen honorable colleague, allow me to state that non-communicable diseases is another threat to our society, robbing our country of game changers in the development of our country like Honorable Sarah Mateke. The government of Uganda has developed strategies and taken steps in combating this vice. Here below are some specific steps taken by government in addressing non-communicable diseases, not limited to the policy and planning. The government of Uganda has developed a national non-communicable disease policy that is of 2015 and a national non-communicable diseases control program and integrated non-communicable diseases into the health sector development plan that is of 2015, 2016 to 2019 and 2020, and allocates funds for it annually. The health care service delivery, government integrated non-communicable disease services into the primary health care services and has established non-communicable disease clinics and specialized treatment centers, continuing to train health care workers on non-communicable disease management. Honorable Speaker and honorable colleagues, public awareness and education. The government of Uganda has and is continuing to conduct public awareness campaign on communicable disease risk factors and prevention. So far, we have launched the Health Heart Africa initiative to promote a cardiovascular health. Government is in a partnership with civil society organizations to promote non-communicable disease awareness. That Honorable Speaker and honorable colleagues, surveillance and research. On surveillance and research, we have conducted a non-communicable diseases risk factor survey of 2014 to gather data on non-communicable diseases prevalence. Government has established a national non-communicable diseases surveillance system, supported the research on non-communicable diseases and their risk factors. Honorable Speaker, on partnership and collaboration, the government of Uganda is collaborating with international organizations. For example, World Health Organization, UNICEF, and we are partnering with NGOs such as Uganda Heart Association, Uganda Cancer Society, we are also engaging the private sector to promote health lifestyles and products. Honorable Speaker, under this we have launched the Uganda Physical Activity and Sports Policy of 2019. Even at Parliament here, we have introduced the national guidelines for management of non-communicable diseases, that is of 2018. We have established a national non-communicable disease coordinating mechanisms. Honorable Speaker and honorable colleagues, these steps and many other initiatives demonstrate the government's commitment to addressing non-communicable diseases. However, concerted efforts still needed to effectively combat the non-communicable diseases in the country. Honorable Speaker and honorable colleagues, as we mourn and celebrate the life of a distinguished person who devoted her life in serving her country, she has been widely appreciated as a passionate human rights crusader and empowerment of girls, youth, and women for social development, as well as social, political, and economic justice. Honorable members, Honorable Speaker and honorable members, I wish to extend government's profound sympathies to the family, relatives, friends, colleagues, and the Bafumbira community and the people of Uganda. May the Almighty God grant her soul eternal rest for God and my country.
Thank you so much. Honorable Prime Minister.
Stand and rise to second the motion to pay tribute to our own Minister of State, former Minister of State for Defense, using the word, listening to the clerk referring to Honorable Sarah
to support the motion as moved by the Right Honorable Prime Minister. But I would like, Right Honorable Speaker, to use this opportunity to extend my sincere condolences to the bereaved family of the late Honorable Sarah Mateke, and the people of Kisoro, Kigezi, and all the people of Uganda. Right Honorable Speaker, I will be referring to Honorable Sarah Mateke as Honorable Sarah Mateke, but the other name may be difficult for me to pronounce. But when I would always chat with her, I would tell her that that name of hers is very romantic, but difficult to pronounce. It is very difficult to speak because the person of Sarah Mateke would always cultivate her characteristics, her personality on anyone who she felt was her friend. Right Honorable Speaker, I met Sarah Mateke in the 9th Parliament, and I found her very easy to work with. both within the confines of Parliament, outside Parliament, but also on social circles. The Honorable Sarah Mateke was the first person in Kigezi to take me to Kisoro district. And when she came to invite me to go to Kisoro district, as it was her habit of wearing a warm smile, I had a series of activities around the time that she wanted me to go to Kisoro. Being a Minister of Education and having so many official activities over the weekend, she managed to persuade me to shift the activities to Ministers of State, and then I confirmed that I would go with her to Kisoro. What moved me, Right Honorable Speaker, is that while in Kisoro, she whispered to me and told me that she wanted to speak to me aside. She told me that Kisoro was currently riddled with so many phases of insecurity with different groups, people. And she told me that you might be a retired major of the army, but I would like to persuade you not to delve into issues of security for this ceremony. And she told me that I should restrict myself to issues of the International Women's Day, which had taken us there. And she asserted that that will be for the good of all the groups in Kisoro. And that will go in tandem with all the interests of the people of Kisoro, including the neighbors, the neighboring countries. I felt that that was an extra care, because she did not want me to speak maybe something that was accurate, but maybe which would not go well with the members of the community. So Sarah acted as a true sister. When we finished the International Women's Day, Right Honorable Speaker, that day, the Honorable Kamara came to Honorable Sarah Mateke, requesting her that he wants the Minister of Education to visit the Kisoro Teacher Training Institution, because for him, he's passionate about teachers. I know that it was a bit late. The Honorable Sarah Mateke looked at my face, I looked at her face, and we smiled at each other. And the Honorable Sarah Mateke said, let's also honor the boy child. Let's go as per his wish. So we went to Kisoro Teacher Training Institution. The Honorable Sarah Mateke was working very well with all the leaders in Kisoro. That, I think she had her constant character. Because recently, when I went again to represent His Excellency the President in the enthronement and the consecration of the Bishop of Kisoro, Sarah again spoke to me about the needs of all the leaders of Kisoro and all the people of Kisoro. And a few leaders who spoke appreciated her and her family, especially on uniting the politicians of Kisoro. I want to thank her for the endeavor that she put in order to have unity in Kisoro. The bishop himself made a comment about her on the affirmative, in line with uniting the people. She was leading in the district, meanwhile working very smoothly with all the leaders at different levels in Kisoro. So that was Sarah, the unifier. Sarah, the caring sister. Right Honorable Speaker, speak wisdom. And all ministers speak a lot of sense in light with their sectors. But I would like, Right Honorable Speaker, to again thank Sarah for a special way in which she has always conducted herself in cabinet. Sarah has always been disciplined. She's the kind of minister that sends you a text when she's bound to be late, even for a few minutes. She's the kind of minister who would always speak when the occasion demands. And she's the kind of minister who had always shared with the female ministers very freely. I want to thank her for having given us her time as a female minister. She would always pick something that she would like to correct, but in a very sensible way, in a way that does not offend the person that she's correcting. She was very passionate about education, especially on skilling the children, the youth. It is not only when she was the Minister of Youth and Children that she developed that attitude. Right Honorable Speaker, I'm here to bear testimony that while I was a Minister of Education, Honorable Sarah Mateke again visited me in the office, expressing to me a concern on how the Department of Technical Education had delayed to give her and her team an interim letter of authority to begin, at that time, a technical institution, which in her view, she had desired to grow into a university. I recall having a very intelligent commissioner at that time called Madame Namuli, who I invited when Sarah was still in the office, and who actually demonstrated the fact that she was still willing to continue delaying the establishment of the institute. And I asked the commissioner that does she know that maybe there are some development partners that would like to support the institute, but they would like evidence that government also believes that the institute is in line with the policy. And I told the commissioner to stop delaying the establishment of the institute just because of failing to append her tiny signature. When I said that word tiny, that commissioner laughed, and she said, Honorable Minister, tomorrow I'm signing the letter of interim authority for her to start. And from that time, Right Honorable Speaker, the Honorable Sarah Mateke, with her team, started in a small way their technical institution, which has now grown into the Metropolitan International University. To handle. In light of that example, try not to delay the work, either of private or government. Even if you are to use an undesirable word like a tiny signature, I don't think that's an abuse. Right Honorable Speaker, Honorable Sarah Mateke did not forget about me. Like she did to many of you, she offered scholarships, half scholarships, to children who are exceptionally gifted academically, but socially disadvantaged. She gave me 20 scholarships, but half scholarships. But I called her and said, you know the constituency which I come from. Why don't you give me 10 full scholarships instead of giving me 20 half scholarships? Right Honorable Speaker, she obliged. She gave me 10 full scholarships. I know you also give me scholarships. Thank you very much, Madam Speaker.
I was wondering whether she was not appreciating me when I'm still alive.
Madam Speaker gives me scholarships every year. Those children who go to S1 and children who go to S5. That is the kind of sharing that we should continue holding in very high regard in the few days that God has given us in this world. University, now Metropolitan International University, to ensure that they keep that university strong, and we have their support. They have our support. And I call upon all of us to support them in whichever area they need the support.
This time we have a problem with our neighbors. For us who do cross-border trade, now how shall we go to Congo?
Honorable Carol Okrot, before you leave, I would love to, just a minute, Honorable Zirmana. I want to introduce Honorable Caroline Ahmad Okao. You're welcome. Honorable Bua Ogwal, welcome. Honorable Tete Chelengat, welcome. Honorable Lanyero Sara, welcome.
Kukasa toyingira mu kifuteji kyange.
Abubi. Kabu. Bro.